The imports are pretty much almost, let's say, different styles. No, every import, they don't have a lot of similarities, the imports.
I think Elliot and McKinney are very
McKinney.
similar.
But he's not as a deadly scorer as a McKinney. I mean, before. Manigot is similar, always closely similar to Alexander. Do it all.
Yeah, can shoot. Plays two ways. Gets a lot of deflections. Can be successful without the ball in his hands. Sige, ano yun natin. Ba't nandun galing sa akin? Oh, di bale, hindi ka ba naguguluhan? Kung okay lang sa'yo yung ganyan. Parang ngayon ko lang nakitang magulo yung wires.
Akin dito galing, oh. Or,
lagay mo dyan sa side.
okay.
Okay.
Yan.
Better?
Okay.
Lagyan natin sa ilalim ng paa mo. Sa legs.
Lagay pa.
Hindi, kung hindi ka lang na...
Okay na yan.
Okay na yan. Okay.
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABF.
Go right there, another block by Miguel.
Wide open is Venetian. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lie. Oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play!
basketball fans, and we welcome you to our continuing coverage of the 10th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. We are coming to you live from the Venetian in Macau on this Thursday evening, January 16, 2020, for this matchup between the Macau Black Bears and the Singapore Slingers. Sadaf Tupas working alongside Coach Josh Reyes tonight as the Black Bears try to pick up their third win in the last 4 games as they take on the Slingers, who are coming off a very impressive win against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas at home last Sunday.
Well, two teams coming off great wins, none greater than that of the Singapore Slingers against the mighty Alab Pilipinas. Singapore Slingers finally showing what they are really capable of. Their record not really reflect how good this team is, standing at 2-4. Maybe that last game can jumpstart their campaign here and prove that they are one of the top contenders in the ABL.
Well, the Singapore Slingers reached the finals last season, and they do have some key holdovers from that squad. Saber Alexander, of course, their import has been there the past 5 seasons, and he's been a key contributor for them. And together with Marcus Elliott this season, they seem to be still trying to find the right mix here for this season. And Marcus Elliott, of course, had his stints with the Hong Kong Eastern, and now joining forces with this guy right here, Saber Alexander, a spectacular triple-double to go with those 8 steals.
Almost a quadruple-double. You know, Saber Alexander has long been one of the best players in the ABL. He's a steady presence, consistent presence for the Slingers. He's their leader. Where he goes, the Slingers goes as well. Just a matter of, finding the right help and talent to go around him. But you know that game in and game out, this guy, Alexander the Great, would bring it.
Well, he will always produce for you. Xavier Alexander has also developed that outside shot, which he really struggled in the past. And Xavier Alexander will be a marked man here on the home floor of the Macau Black Bears here at the beautiful Venetian in Macau. All the others here for Singapore, they stepped up in the last game. Marcus Elliott hit some big shots for Singapore to really pull away against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And this guy as well, Anthony McLean, was a force on the defensive end. 7 blocks with 13 rebounds and 18 points. What a performance there from the big man.
Finally delivering what he's been asked to do here with the Singapore Slingers. He is a defensive dynamo in the paint. He's a big unit. He gave DeGuara. He literally rendered DeGuara useless against that game, and that's because of his defense. And you said 7 blocks, and that along with 8 steals of Xavier Alexander, you know that they really played a fantastic defensive game against Alab. And they need to get back to the defensive ways, because last year they were successful because they led the league in defense. They led the league in limiting their opponents to only 78 points per game. And that's big against the Black Bears, who averaged near the top.
Well, always known for their really firepower, the Macau Black Bears. Mike McKinney is really known as one of the finest and lethal scorers here in the ASEAN Basketball League. Kenny Manigault is coming, a resurgent force really for the Macau Black Bears, currently at 5-5. And a lot of movement in our team standings here over the last few weeks, because we've been having a lot of games in the ASEAN Basketball League. It's been a very busy January for the ABL.
Indeed, it's a huge contrast. Slingers only having played 6 games. Macau already 10 games, and you'll see, like you said, a lot of player movements as these teams as the games balance out.
Wait for the starting lineups for the Macau Black Bears.
Now it's for the Macau Black Bears. Number 0, Nelson Chan.
The fan favorite, Nelson Chan, the pink-haired wonder. Like I said, here's Mike McKinney, led the whole league in scoring last season. However, now he's getting a lot of help from his teammate Manigault, who leads this league right now in scoring.
Okay, Mike McKinney had Anthony Tucker as his partner last season, and Anthony Tucker, they lost Anthony Tucker for a huge stretch last season, and that really allowed Mike McKinney to take over the offense of the team.
Indeed. So we look at Charles Hantomacus, Canadian, originally from Greece. A young coach, only 35 years old.
Player handshakes going on, and we're just about ready for tip-off here in the Venetian in Macau. The Macau Black Bears are looking to improve their record, 5-5. I think for a team that's undergone a bit of an upheaval, a lot of changes, I think this is a very good record already in the first 10 games of the season, considering that it looks like this is going to be one of the most competitive seasons in the history of the ABL.
Right on point there, Sidel. The Black Bears, I've covered a lot of their games, and they've been through a lot of tough battles. They lost a lot of close games and won a lot of close games as well. Now, this guy had a fantastic third quarter last game. If Liang can continue to contribute off the bench, because one of the problems of the Black Bears is their depth. If they can continue to, find some players off the bench who can contribute and help their big three, then it'll further improve their campaign here in the ABL.
And that depth seems to be one of the strengths of the Singapore team, especially with the amount of experience that this team has. If you take a look at the Kenny Manigault's numbers, just a very athletic guy, can really jump out of the gym, and he's got some really good basketball IQ, and he's got that shooting touch as well.
Reminds me a lot of Andre Iguodala. He plays on both ends of the floor. What you don't see is how many deflections he gets per game. He gets blocks. You saw last game he had 4 steals, and now he's even leading the team in scoring so far. So he's just really what the Black Bears are, needing so far. Exactly what they need.
It will be a battle of scoring dynamos. Mike McKinney, 28 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists in their last game. Marcus Elliott, 21 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. Two players very familiar with each other, as they played against each other in the last 2 seasons, with Elliott playing for Hong Kong Eastern in their first 3 seasons in the ASEAN Basketball League. The former best world import. And these are the keys to the game for the Black Bears. Of course, limit Xavier Alexander. Win the rebounding battle. That is not going to be easy. And outshoot the Slingers really can be their strength here.
Outsling the Slingers. This Macau Black Bears is known for their offense. That McKinney will be consistent with this production. Manigault will be consistent with this production. Edwards is the one who's always, the question mark up and down. But their weakness has always been the rebounding. If they can win the rebounding department against this Singapore Slingers team, then it could be looking good for them. Now, having said that, I told you that McKinney and Manigault are consistent. That's why they really need to defend the perimeter and set their own tempo, as listed there as keys to the game. Because you don't want to get this high-scoring Macau Black Bears into a fast-paced ballgame where the perimeter players are getting into a good rhythm, because that could spell a long night for the Slingers.
Here's the starting lineups for first the Macau Black Bears: Kenny Manigault, Jennings Leung, Mike McKinney, Brandon Edwards, and Warren Liang. And Edwards will be matched up against Anthony McLean. That will be a long evening for him. For the Slingers, it's Marcus Elliott, Leon Quick, Xavier Alexander, Anthony McLean and Delvin Go.
I'm really liking the balance of this Singapore Slingers squad. They get one of the biggest, tallest locals in the ABL in Delvin Go. He's a talented player, can rebound. He's averaging 12 points and 9 rebounds in his last 5 games. So he can be the X factor because, like I said, Macau Black Bears have been struggling to rebound defensively even on the games that they've won.
And you take a look at this lineup of Macau, they're giving up a lot of size against this Singapore team.
However, all 5 guys wearing white can shoot. Even their center, especially their center. He's not really a forward, talking about Edwards, but he can really stretch the floor. He's a sweet shooting big man, giving up a lot of size though against McLean this game. But if he can hold his own, box out and snatch some rebounds, then he could tilt the game towards their favor.
Macau Black Bears in white, Singapore Slingers in red. Referees Chen Chao Hong, Chang Liu Ye, and Harry Santos as we await tip-off here. Ball is up and we are underway. It's Macau who will get the first crack at the basket. This Kenny Manigault matched up against Xavier Alexander. They go to McKinney against Marcus Elliott. McKinney trying to wiggle free, nowhere to go. Manigault cutting to the basket, and that is tapped away.
Good ball screen defense there. They started off with their favorite 1-4 high, setting up McKinney for that sideline pick and roll. Good defense by Singapore that time. Only 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
Jennings Leung to inbound. Who does he go to? They go to Edwards. Leung gets it back, pulls up, corner. No good, and Alexander collects the rebound. The first possession for Singapore. Alexander against Manigault.
What a great matchup that would be.
Yeah.
We're just going to see a great matchup the whole evening.
Delvin Go. Back to Alexander. Alexander finds Go. Delvin, short stab, doesn't work. Edwards with the rebound.
I thought he took an unnecessary dribble when he caught the ball. Could have just risen up for his shot.
Manigault blocked a couple of times. Third try, doesn't go.
That's a defensive presence of the Slingers, preventing that transition basket.
Yeah, Marcus Elliott trying to bully his way inside. He draws the foul on, it looks like it's Warren Liang.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for Liang. He has the physical tools, to stay with Elliott. He's he has a big body as well, big athletic body. Talking about Liang, but Elliott is just on another level. And after the last game, Elliott has been struggling this season.
Yeah, might open the floodgates for him.
Yeah,
really.
but that last good game might have been it for him, and he could be, starting to turn the corner.
Those were 3 big triples in the second half to really put away San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. As Elliott was 2 for 2. Slingers on top, 2-0. And if you look back at the last game of Singapore, I think that was really the sign of how good they can be here this season in the ASEAN Basketball League. Make no mistake about it, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas is really one of the strongest teams here. Mike McKinney.
As we see, just saw Mike McKinney doing what he does best, using the ball screen and getting the penetration all the way deep, for an easy layup.
They force the turnover, Macau. McKinney out to Liang. Jennings Leung swings it over to Manigault. Edwards providing the pick. Manigault using the left hand. McLean.
Oh, tough call. I mean, good offense, good patient offense by the Black Bears. But I thought this was a good defensive stand. Okay. The replay proved me wrong. The angle of that referee. Thought that he slapped down.
Yeah, that was a good angle right there. Right near the baseline. Got good vision to see that contact on the left hand of Kenny Manigault.
One thing you know for sure, doesn't matter if this guy, McLean, had 7 blocks last time out. Manigault and McKinney, best believe, will still keep on attacking him.
Kenny Manigault has really become the perfect complement to this scoring machine that is Mick McKinney. I think he's eased the load on McKinney a bit, freshens him up for the final stretch in ball games.
The most important thing for me is he can be effective even off the ball.
Marcus Elliott and Leong trying to strip him, and another foul whistled on the Black Bears. Marcus Elliott will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Not a good sign for the Black Bears with these early fouls because they are not a deep team. They rely on their starting players a lot. They usually play more than 35 minutes, their starting lineup. So, if you get some of these guys in foul trouble, you'll force them to dig deeper to their bench, and then they're not really used to that.
3 for 3 so far for Marcus Elliott. 2 team fouls already for the Black Bears. 1 for 2 for Marcus Elliott on that trip. A slow-paced game so far. Liang to Jennings Leong. They go to McKinney. Manigault. Tipped away by Alexander. Throws off.
That's
wow.
what Edwards can do. Having the speed advantage being the smaller player against McLean. You have to respect his outside shooting, and that allowed him to just rip through. Couple of dribbles to blow by McLean from the perimeter.
Oh, that ball nestled at the top of the backboard. Manigault could not. Oh!
That's a trick shot.
Nice.
Call the Globetrotters. Okay, use
Okay, Kenny Manigault says,
he tried to hand it off to the referee.
Says, you do it. Hey, he wants the help of Anthony McLean, man. Hey, Anthony, help him out, man.
We're in the Venetian. Call some of the acrobats or something to go get that off the ceiling.
Can he do it this time?
Okay.
Yes. Good job there, Kenny Manigault. He has to get a score for that.
The best play of the night so far.
That has to go down as well. light moments early here in the ball game. Now pressure here.
Talk about great matchups all over the floor. You've got Elliott against McKinney guarding, matched up. Kwek against Leong, 2 really, reliable locals in the ABL going at it.
Leong, quick trigger from the corner.
That's what he can do. He's a big body. He can shoot. He can stretch the floor and shoot from the outside.
Man, it looks like Go was really close to him, but he managed to fire away anyway.
The thing with Go is he's also a natural shot blocker. So you'll always find him trying to help in the lane. That can free up Liang. As we see the big man sealing inside. Simple drop step in the paint. McLean has to do a better, Edwards has to do a better job pushing him out there. Don't get sealed by the bigger guy.
Edwards trying to answer with a 3, no good. Go grabs the rebound. Here comes Xavier Alexander, tapped away by Manigault. And Xavier Alexander gives it up to Go. They go to Leon Kwek. McLean in position, out to Alexander. 5 seconds in the shot clock.
Look at that defense.
Great defense there by Manigault. Jennings Leong has McKinney to his right. Could not get the layup to go. Manigault attacks, could not get it to go. Kwek grabs the rebound. Loose ball. That's a kick ball. It will stay with Macau.
I like the aggressiveness of Manigault. He attacked the big man, but I thought Warren Liang was wide open. He just hit the 3-pointer a while ago. Could have hit him for another one. Like I said, the Slingers have 2 shot blockers on the floor right now in McLean and Delvin Go. So you'll get your shooters wide open all the time if they help out in the paint.
Junwan Lim is in the game. Warren Yang. Now with Edwards. 8 seconds in the shot clock. Gives it up to Manigault. Nice bounce pass to Edwards! Posterizes Delvin Go.
Oh! The Macau Black Bears are doing a good job always involving McLean in the pick and roll. Edwards rolling to the basket there. The help is late. Ends up with a flush.
And Edwards with a facial. Could be.
Don't do that against Manigault. He has to lead the ABL in deflections.
Oh, nice reverse there for Warren Leong. This Black Bears offense humming to life early. Alexander misses the reverse, but gets the ball back. 13-5. Slingers down right now. Goal inside. That's
Offensive
an offensive foul.
Good call. This is the thing about Go. We've, playing against the Philippines so many times. He always likes to go left. So now it's very popular around the basketball community to defend him going left. And that time he tried to force his way, going left, and committed the offensive foul.
And the timeout. 30-5. The Macau Black Bears on top against the Singapore Slingers. Black Bears, they have an 8-point lead against the Singapore Slingers in the first 5 minutes of this ball game. We're coming to you live from the Venetian in Macau. Matchup between Macau Black Bears and the Singapore Slingers. Black Bears can make it a double-digit lead here in this possession. Elliott now on Manigault. Manigault pulls up. That's short. McKinney tracks down the ball.
Hey, so far, Sidov, it's the Black Bears who are winning the rebounding battle. That's why they're up.
Oh, what? McLean, that's going to be his second here.
That's big. And that was because of the 2 offensive rebounds they gave up. Now their big guy is in foul trouble early in this ball game.
Coach Neil Beng Xiang now forced to look at his bench and find some options here. As we take a look at that foul from McLean. Brandon Edwards, he's got that advantage in terms of speed and athleticism, and he's been using that, maximizing that here in the first period against Anthony McLean.
Larry Liu getting ready to check in, so Singapore will be smaller. Oh, however, he didn't go in for McLean, who is in foul trouble. Instead, he subbed Delvin Go out. So very interesting. The Slingers sticking with McLean despite having 2 fouls early.
10-point lead for Macau. McKinney gets into the middle. That will not count. A foul happened before the shot.
He's so good at that, man. Just really penetrating, getting in the middle of the floor, inviting the contact,
yeah, absorbing the contact as well.
Absorbing, initiating.
And he's very underrated with his
Yeah.
strength, really, because he may seem like he doesn't have a very lean frame, but he can absorb contact and power his way for baskets, and just like that, that's McKinney.
That's
down
an
to 3.
aspect of the game. If he can be consistent with that, then he would be, super, super hard to guard.
18-5 for Macau. Alexander looking for McLean inside. McLean to the cut inside. Basket will count
So
for Kelvin Lim.
Sorry, my bad. I thought that was Larry coming in. It was Kelvin Lim. Forward, young forward, Singapore Slingers coming in.
Liu Zihao is entering the game for Warren Young, who's got 5 points.
That was also his second foul. So good to see Liu Zihao back in because last game he wasn't even suited up. I think he had some sort of injury or illness. But he was the hero making a big shot in their win against the Mono Vampires. So good to see him back. He'll be a welcome addition, you know, to their depth.
Edwards open three, top of the key, no good. McLean collects the rebound, ahead to Elliott. And Black Bears getting back in transition. Kelvin out to Elliott. Kelvin is open, opts to drive. Liu Zihao fouls Kelvin.
Just biting off that up fake.
So Black Bears one foul away from the penalty.
You know,
Slingers as well.
Sorry, Sal, but I just want to say, you know, against players like that, against Kelvin, who's not really known to be a good scorer, you don't really have to jump up and try to block shots. You know, just stay with him, slide, stay in front, and if he attempts, just wall up and get your hands up. Force him to prove that he can actually score over you.
Lim. Down low to McLean. Out to Elliott. 4 seconds to shoot. Alexander, Elliott. And Elliott connecting that time. That's the first basket for Xavier Alexander.
Getting something out of nothing. He was really thwarted with the shot attempt. Good thing he had the presence of mind to spot Alexander underneath. As we see a 1-3-1 zone from the Slingers. That's also tried to protect McLean from getting his third foul. It worked, the 3-second violation.
And Xavier Alexander doing a great job there on Brandon Edwards. Take a look at this one. It didn't look like it's an offensive foul.
No, they called the 3-second call because when he began the seal, he wasn't even outside.
Yeah.
He wasn't even outside the lane, and then he sealed inside. But if, you know, I was Coach Charles Hantamacos, I'd rather get called for the 3-second violation than him picking up that offensive foul.
Good look at Coach Charles
almost
Hantamacos.
another steal by Manigault.
Elliott for three, yes!
But off the gamble, giving up a three. Hey, this is a good sign for the Slingers. Elliott getting hot early.
And you see Alexander deferring to him early here. Manigault gets it to McKinney. Inside, Edwards!
3 seconds again. Edwards got to get out of the lane on these attacks. I like this 1-3-1 zone defense. It negates the ball screens of Mike McKinney.
And it already has led to a couple of turnovers for Macau here. Last two possessions, Black Bears within 5 now after being down by 13 early.
Ever since, you know, they went small with the sub, they've been able to keep in step with the Black Bears. (18-13). 2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the first period.
Xavier Alexander. Now with Marcus Elliott. Kelvin Lim providing the pick. Elliott. That's a dribbling violation. And Marcus Elliott, who already has 7 points in the ball game.
Okay, they call thumbs up here. Their zone set. Let's see if they can execute something out of the zone. Watch out, Edwards, don't stay in the paint.
McKinney out to Manigault for three. Off the glass and in.
Back is open twice. That hit the board 2 times before finally going in.
21-13. 8-point lead for the Black Bears. Elliott again. Jennings Young right in front of him. They go to Lim inside, and Junyuan Lim lays it in. First basket of the evening for Junyuan Lim.
Black Bears switched their matchup. They took McKinney off Elliott, putting Leong. McKinney just caught himself ball watching, forgetting his man the previous play.
21-15 after a miss from McKinney. Marcus Elliott misses from the corner. Ball goes to Manigault. Manigault drives
all the way.
Couple of slam dunks here in the first period. The Macau Black Bears, as Lim could not do anything about that. Manigault just exploding to the rim.
And then the deflection from Manigault.
Here he is again, and Junyuan Lim gives up the foul.
Again, Manigault does it in both ends of the floor. You know, they got into that transition with the drag pick and roll. He rejected the ball screen with that crossover, jammed it, and then coming back. Hey, what's up, man? Come on. All right, you're good, you're good. You got a good jam. Tried the Manigault. He kind of threw his gum to our partner.
I was surprised. I thought he was mad.
We forgive him. He had two good plays, and like I said, he had that, defensive stop with that deflection. Almost a boo-boo with that gum toss at you.
Well, he's refocused very well, and he quickly apologized for that. 24-15. After that brief 8-0 run by Singapore. Look at this. It's back to a 10-point lead for the Macau Black Bears.
Now Singapore going even smaller, subbing out McLean, putting in Devlin Go for the final 43 seconds of the quarter. Watch out, the Black Bears are in a 2-2-1 zone press.
Lau Chun Pong is also in the game. Kelvin Lim. Kick out to Go. Elliott now. Fakes the pass. Elliott inside and powers his way through for the bucket.
Lots of contact as well on that play.
9 points for Marcus Elliott. Andy Manigault. Shot clock just the same as Xavier Alexander is whistled for the foul.
Trying to go for the steal. Only 14 seconds left. That's a big foul to give up. Especially when you're in the bonus and you're Alexander, you're the most important piece of your team. You don't need to give up unnecessary fouls right there.
Alexander, quiet first period for him. Just 2 points.
Look at this, Idelf. Even if there's only 11 seconds left, 12 seconds left in the quarter, still Black Bears coach Strauss Hatomakos, he doesn't sub out his main guys. Even for the last defensive possessions, he wants them in there for that final defensive stop. So really limited rest for the starters of the Black Bears, at least their big three, Manigault, McKinney, and Edwards.
Now defensively, Slingers, they're not on track of limiting this Macau team. 26 points in the first period alone. 9-point lead for the Black Bears. Delvin Go. Lim gets it to Elliott. 3 seconds remaining. There's a foul on Lau Chun Pong that will send Marcus Elliott to the line, who already has 8 points. Starting out very aggressive here in the offensive end, Marcus Elliott.
Very poor foul right there. You already got the bonus by shooting free throws on the previous possessions. Force Elliott to make a tough shot. Don't put him on the line.
That turned out to be a good foul.
Having said that, what do I know, Sidelf?
26-17. Elliott, stat line right there, 8 points, a rebound, and 2 assists. Gets the second to go. Now Chun Pong, and that turned out to be a turnover.
This would be a baseline out of bounds throw in.
And Coach Neo Benxiang will use this timeout.
Elected to call a timeout, yeah.
For the last 2 seconds of the first period. We'll be right back. Back inside the Venetian in Macau for this matchup between the Black Bears and the Singapore Slingers. Black Bears on top 26-18, but Singapore will have the ball here with 2.7 seconds remaining, 2.6 seconds remaining in the first period. Xavier Alexander to inbound from the baseline. Coach Neo Beng Xiang calling timeout. Let's see what they come up with here. They go to McLean. Inside. Beats the horn with that left-handed back shot.
That's why they wanted the timeout. They can set up the big guy.
Very clever play out of that timeout. And McLean staying composed as he beats the horn. 26-20 for the Macau Black Bears. They're ahead against the Singapore Slingers as we head into the second period. Just about ready to start the second period here at the Venetian in Macau as Macau Black Bears holding on to a 6-point lead against the Singapore Slingers. We'll start with Marcus Elliott, Xavier Alexander, Delvin Go, Leon Kwek, and Anthony McLean. This is their first 5 earlier.
Yes, they're back to it.
And with the exception of Liu Zihao, this is also one of the starters for the Black Bears as McLean tips in that miss.
Big guys started to get comfortable in there.
That's 6 points for Anthony McLean.
Slingers continuing with their 1-3-1 zone. Been working for them.
Liu Zihao for 3.
Shooter. You know, it's so It's so tough if you're to zone against a team with 5 shooters on the floor.
In that time, they were forcing the inside of Macau Black Bears for a stretch here in the first quarter. Now they're trying to spot the shooters to beat the 1-3-1. They go to Alexander. 3 seconds in the shot clock. Alexander.
Oh, forced that, but got a bailout. Sorry, Sidal, thought that was a bailout call.
Yeah.
Nowhere to go. He forced his way through. Come on, refs, can't call that. But again, you know, they have a different angle there. Action is quick, and they have to call it as they see it.
And Xavier Alexander, just 2 points so far. Make that 3.
You know, as a coach, Sidal, I always want to see, you know, if the teams or even your players out there don't make a good basketball play, then for me, they don't deserve to get a foul call, even if there's contact. But if it's a good basketball play or the defender's out of position, then that's where you call fouls. Just that time for me, I thought it was a bad basketball action.
From on the part of Alexander.
Yes, you can't reward him for that. But again, this is what the 1-3-1 zone is doing, negating the ball screen of McKinney.
And they're trying to swing the ball quicker now. Jennings Leung sees a gap, finds McKinney on the move. McKinney, difficult shot. Oh my goodness, Nick McKinney using the left hand there.
Yeah, switching hands. Quick shot here.
And Leon quick sugar doesn't drop. Manigault, Jennings Leung for 3.
I like that shot better because that was a catch and shoot 3-pointer. I really don't like. I don't like 2-point pull-ups. Much more a quick 2-point pull-up.
Alexander goes to Elliott. Elliott loses the basketball to Manigault. McKinney was ahead, but Manigault takes it all the way.
Stretch Armstrong there on that finish. That was a delay of game. Ref is correct to call that. He did tap the ball out after he made it. But Sidov, is it just me or every time there's a loose ball, Manigault is around it? You know,
And that time he was first to the loose ball
he
again.
has just a nose for that, getting deflections and tracking down loose balls.
And that's just an understated part of his game.
Yeah, because you won't see that on the stat sheet.
Elliott against Leong, working his way from the Anthony McLean pick. Alexander uses the shot fake, attacks, and finds McLean for the left-handed shot. That was wide open.
Yeah, poor defense, that possession by Manigault, just leaving his feet, not closing out properly. No really selling out Edwards in that play.
Oh, McKinney.
Oh, sorry, miss. But again, that is the strength of this team. You know, the penetrations of McKinney and Manigault. Eminem.
They're just very explosive.
You know, that's the reason why the zone has been working for stretches, because you know it negates their attack, their trying to create off-ball screens, forcing them to pass the ball. But you know, every time they can push the pace, attack before the zone of the Slingers gets set up, you know, set ball screens in transition. You know, that'll be tough to zone up because, you know, the zone won't be set. And they don't have really quick guys on the floor. They don't have racehorses so far in Delvin Go and McLean.
That's why pace is important for Singapore.
Exactly.
If they slow down that pace, they can set up that defense. If they get good shots, they can set up that defense. And right here, Elliott forcing his way inside.
But watch out, it's a quick inbounds for the Black Bears and now they're attacking. So the Slingers need to get in position because the ball screen is happening right now.
And right there, it leads to an open shot. Manigault knocks it down.
Again, that drag, pick and roll, in transition, Mr. Make.
That was right on cue right there, Coach Josh.
Yeah, just, you know, against a bigger team, you catch them before they're ready. Force them to react, force them to be on their heels.
Kenny Manigault already with 15 points. 15 of the 38. McKinney has 9. Elliott out to Quick. Back to Elliott. Mid-range J is good for Marcus Elliott.
A little miscue there on defensive responsibilities. Too wide open, Marcus Elliott.
Black Bears in control, 38-30.
Slingers back to man-to-man.
Manny Goat squeezing himself through traffic. Gives it up to Leong. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Manny Goat misses. Offensive rebound. Goes to Liu. Manny Goat finds Leong. Three-pointer. No. The tap goes to McKinney. McKinney for three.
Boom.
Yes!
One of the most dangerous three-pointers in the game. The three-pointers that come off offensive rebounds. So far, the smaller team is the one dominating the rebounding in this ball game.
41-30. Kwek on that corner. Spacing really poor there for Singapore. Delvin Go on the move. Tapped away by Manigoat. McKinney to Leong. Zhenning Leong gets that one to go and a foul.
That started with the deflection of Manigold, resulting in that fast break attack. Good concentration by Zhenning Leong on that finish. Looked like he didn't have an angle. Manufactured an angle for himself, finishing with an end one.
Desmond O is now in the game, replacing Leon Kwek, who's been largely ineffective.
I'm happy to see Desmond O on the floor. You know, I've played a lot of games against this guy, being a longtime captain of the Singapore national team. Smart player, very, very tough, hard-nosed player.
Yeah, Elliott leaves the game in frustration as he gets replaced by Kelvin Lim.
Yeah, because that's the third foul of Elliott. I didn't even realize that it was him who committed the last foul.
And that was a technical.
A technical as well.
Yeah, so that the second foul was on the drive on Jennings Leong, and then the third one was that technical free throw.
The technical, yeah.
So Mike McKinney now with 13 points. And you talk about the support from the locals. Jennings Leong already has three. Liu Jihao has 3. Warren Liang has 5. So good support here for the imports of the Macau Black Bears.
You know, I feel for Elliott, it's really tough for him to get some penetration lanes in the ball game because the Singapore Slingers have 2 non-shooters on the floor. They're 2 big guys, Delvin Go and McLean, so the Black Bears can really clog the driving lanes up particularly well. That's why every time they drive, they drive into a crowd.
And they're just starting to develop this partnership with Alexander, who's more of, you know, also a ball dominant player as well. Melvin Go gives it up to Alexander. 2 seconds in the shot clock. Alexander on the drive, off balance shot is good.
What a shot, but again, against 3 white shirts. You know, he finished that tough shot against 3 white shirts. You see Singapore now back in their zone. Pays dividends.
Alexander takes it in. And Manigoat avoiding the contact as Xavier Alexander scoring 4 quick points to trim the gap to just 11. The biggest lead stood at 15 points for the Black Bears. Young to McKinney. McKinney on the drive. McKinney.
Wow. It's a swooping drive. Doesn't even need a ball screen. Going right. Whew.
There's a huge gap there on that right side. McLean against Edwards. McLean is rejected. And now they're jawing at each other. McLean.
I love this competition. A little bit of smack talk right there. McLean said, I can block shots. I mean, Edwards said, I can block shots too. Big guy. But look at McLean there, just head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah.
Throwing his shoulder around, that's it.
And shoulder to the head as well. And we have a ceasefire right here at the Venetian in Macau. The Black Bears with a 13-point lead against the Slingers. We'll be right back. Kenny Manigault and the Macau Black Bears with a 13-point advantage against the Singapore Slingers. Slingers have the basketball. McLean almost got that one poked away. Recovered by Alexander. Xavier Alexander inside. And Manigault just relentless there. And Xavier Alexander did not like that block that came after the foul.
Well, you should try to block that. You don't want to give up an N1. If it's play on, it's play on.
Yeah, Manigault just laughing it off.
Was the last foul on? No, it's not. It wasn't on McKinney.
Now Manigault has a couple of fouls
Yes,
already.
Manigault has 2 fouls. Jenin Leung has a couple as well. Liu Zhu Hao, 2 fouls. And Warren Liang has 2 fouls. So far, McKinney has avoided any fouls, as well as Edwards, who's surprising because he's been guarding the behemoth in there. Michael Johnson very upset, the previous time. Some calls he didn't like, and that he feels probably there's a lot of contact in there that's not being called.
47-35. Edwards. Now with Jenin Leung. That zone is extended behind the 3-point line. McKinney swings it over to Liu. 3-pointer, no. Alexander collects the rebound.
That was a good shot.
Desmond O. Delvin Go inside to McLean. To the cutting Kelvin. And he gets rejected by Edwards. Desmond O recovers the basketball.
Yeah, the shot clock shouldn't have been reset. So the referees will just try to sort this out. There was no clear change of possession. So I believe it should be around 9 seconds. They reset it to 14.
He'll call there by our officials.
Yeah,
It should be 9.
yeah, that's what I saw when Desmond had possession. There was just 9 seconds on the clock. On the shot clock, I should say. Okay, so they got things sorted out. 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Go on the drive to the cutting Kelvin, but Edwards
With his
says
third block.
no. McKinney, Leung to Manigault for 3. No. And McLean grabs the rebound. Edwards, that's Alexander rather. Xavier Alexander misses on the layup. Manigault now. That pass behind McKinney leads to a turnover.
Bit out of control that time. But that's the right idea by the Black Bears. Push the pace after getting the rebound. They want to turn this game into a track meet.
Desmond, quick hands there for Jenin Leung. And will go all the way
Nice.
for the breakaway layup. And that is infectious. Those
Exactly.
taps by Kenny Manigault.
Jenin Leung's joining the party.
Yeah.
But he's a very good defender in his own right. He's been guarding imports a lot in this tournament.
14-point lead for the Black Bears. We have a timeout. We're back inside the Venetian in Macau. Second quarter action between the Macau Black Bears and the Singapore Slingers. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first half. And the Black Bears with a commanding 14-point lead.
Off that timeout, Coach Yeo Biang Shan can't resist it anymore, putting Elliott back in the ball game despite being in foul trouble.
McKinney. McKinney misses, and Edwards, that's McLean rather, collecting the rebound. Down low they go.
Is it out of bounds?
Yeah, stepped on the line. Kelvin Lim. Dinglun Tai is in the game, actually, for the Singapore Slingers. Here he is, guarding Mike McKinney.
Really, Singapore Slingers having a hard time getting the rhythm of the game, getting their tempo. They're getting sucked into a fast-paced ball game. You know, that previous possession, they don't really want quick attacks like that against the Black Bears.
3-second violation.
Edwards, that's the third one on him.
And he's signaling to the referee that he was held by one of the players of Singapore, but
even then, what is he doing down there against the big guy? Let's see this play. He's just there.
Yeah. and the thing is, but I thought as soon as the kick out happened for McKinney, someone should have taken the shot.
Got the Slingers now calling 1-4. Little UCLA cut there. Alexander wanted the ball on the post. Gets it now.
There's a double team. Tai, three-pointer. Yes.
Ooh.
Nothing but net.
That's a welcome sight for the Slingers.
Dinglun Tai contributing with that three off the feed from Xavier Alexander.
But that was a better pace for the Slingers. Calder's actions, move the ball around. No quick shots.
Oh, Jennings Leung answers right back with a three-pointer of his own.
However, really, the Black Bears, especially with their starting unit, they really have a lot of firepower out there, a lot of shooting. Good deflection, going 3-4, not allowing to get sealed Edwards.
And Brandon Edwards, and that gives him time to set up. That allows the defense to set up for Macau as McLean is down inside and
good move.
Yes, just seems to know what to do when he has that basketball inside that shaded lane.
He's very patient in there, you know, sure-handed on the catches. You know, if he ever gets into great shape, you know, I wonder how good he could be.
Oh, Jennings Leung back-to-back threes.
The shooter. He's been struggling throughout this season. Now back-to-back shots. How many?
9 points already.
He has 9 points already, all three. So I mean, sorry, he had that and one. But you know, if he can find this stroke, you know, Jennings Leung has been doing well for the Blackbirds despite not hitting his shots. But once he begins to knock them down, then that's another level that the Black Bears can get into.
Yeah. 55-42. This is a Macau Black Bears type of ball game with a score right now. 16 to shoot. McKinney inside.
Gets one.
He's just got that soft touch in and around the basket. Nice feel for the game, really, Mike McKinney.
Last shot opportunity for the Slingers.
Alexander runs into traffic.
Too early.
Alexander grabs the rebound and he puts it in. Ooh. And in this, with a stare down as well on Manigault. Time is up in the first half as the Macau Black Bears, led by Mike McKinney with 17 points and Kenny Manigault with 15. They have a 57-44 lead against the Singapore Slingers right here at the Venetian in Macau. We'll be right back for the second half of this matchup between Macau and the Singapore Slingers. just about ready to start the second half of this matchup between the Macau Black Bears and the Singapore Slingers. Take a look at the next 5 games of the Macau Black Bears. There's the Macau battle against the Macau Wolf Warriors right here at the Venetian in Macau. That's happening on January 21. Battle against Hong Kong Eastern. So they still have 3 home games for the month of January before they travel to Kuala Lumpur to meet the Kuala Lumpur Dragons at the Maba Stadium on February 9. Date with Thailand's Mono Vampire is set on February 12. And just every team has a tough schedule ahead of them here in the ASEAN Basketball League. So there are no exceptions. There's no light or heavy assignment. It's all heavy assignments all around.
It's definitely wide open this season in the ABL.
Take a look at the halftime stats right here. Oh, terrific showing by the Macau Black Bears, shooting 52%. And although the Slingers have shot 56% as well, the three-point shooting has been incredible. They made 6 more triples than the Slingers in that first half.
But the attempts, though, you know, you've got the Black Bears attempting 18 threes and the Slingers only 4 3-pointers. So the floor spacing is very much an issue in this ball game. And looking at the points in the paint, you know, the Black Bears have kept in step with 22 points in the paint and the Slingers only 26.
And Kenny Manigault going to work early as he hits that one-hander over Xavier Alexander. Leon Kwek finally hits. That is his first basket.
That's
of
what
the night.
they should do. Sorry, Sidal. That's what they should do, you know. These guys, Kwek, when the other people are helping off them, they got to be ready to shoot so that they can space the floor and extend the floor, giving Alexander and Elliott space to penetrate right there.
Edwards inside and
rebounding.
Yeah, but again, another well-executed play for the Black Bears. McKinney. Warren off the glass and in.
Confident shot by Liang. But I'm just dumbfounded on how the Singapore Slingers are trying to push the pace. The last turnover was a rush turnover. You know, they can't, you know, it was established at the start of the ball game that they can't they can't run with the Black Bears. That's not into their favor. They need to slow it down, play into a deliberate offense because they have the size advantage. And, you know, deliberate offense, like just what happened there, you know, allowing McLean to establish himself down low and force Edwards to commit fouls.
Elliott gets it to Kwek. Another long-range
Uh-oh, McKinney being burned twice. He's been leaving Kwek, trying to help out on the other players, on the imports of the Slingers.
That is 2 3-pointers for Leon Kwek. Jenning Leong answers right back. That is the 3rd 3 for Jenning Leong.
Talk about a shooter gaining his touch, regaining his mojo. Welcome sight for the Black Bears.
14 points now. Alexander rejected by Edwards up top.
Great weak side help off that back door. Great anticipation and awareness by Edwards on the weak side.
And Manigault off that defensive stop scores inside, and it's now an 18-point lead for the Black Bears. Alexander drives baseline and draws the foul on Mike McKinney.
I mean, I'm really impressed by Alexander. You know, not only has he been doing this for how many seasons already, consistently, but even in traffic. I mean, in that previous drive, he had 2 other players who aren't outside of the 3-point line, and still he manages to get into the paint, carve out space for himself, and force the foul. You know, basketball nowadays is all about shooting and spacing. Very rare you see a team play like the Singapore Slingers are playing right now, where two big guys, a lot of players inside the three-point line. But they've been very successful with this kind of basketball.
Oh, Edwards.
In contrast, you see the Black Bears spread the floor, always putting 5 shooters in the paint, extending the defense, and then, because of that, they can get a lot of cuts in the paint because the paint is wide open.
Just the second foul.
I believe that's the third. That could be the third.
That's the third. Yeah.
Yeah, third. They're forcing the
No, that's just the second. I don't think there was an earlier call that wasn't given to him because all the while we were looking at the stat sheet. So now only the second foul on McLean. That's why he wasn't removed from the ball game.
So I
earlier.
apologize for that. So I was mistaken on the foul count. So only the second for the big guy. But he's having to work hard because he needs to step out to the three-point line and defend these cuts and penetrations by Edwards. Edwards, with the hot hand, has done a good job himself defending in the paint, getting a lot of shot blocks. I believe that was his 4th block already in this game.
Elliott pulls up and knocks it down. As Marcus Elliott returns, hobbled by fouls in the first half. Already with 16 points.
You got a new zone here, 2-3 zone this time by the Slingers.
The Slingers giving the Black Bears different looks. Edward trying to get into position against McLean.
So really, Coach Neo Beng Xiang digging deep into his bag of tricks. But I like it. I like him, adjusting, not giving up, seeing if something would stick.
McKinney will attack, and
Wow!
McKinney already lost the ball in mid-air, but somehow found a way to get that layup to go.
Talk about an acrobatic. He was like juggling like a Macau performer.
Yes.
Juggling in mid-air, recovering and flipping that layup in.
And in contrast, Elliott could not put it in traffic.
Great defense by Jenny Leong. He's always being given the tough matchups. He's been guarding the best players of the opposing teams. And he's really done a good account of himself doing so. I'm very impressed with this kid who actually was born in the Philippines in Los Baños, Laguna.
Interesting background there. Warren Liang.
Confidence. I like it. I like how confident Liang is. But again, the Slingers, being the bigger team, failing to control the rebounds.
And a lot of that really has to, full credit to Brandon Edwards here in this ball game. He's battled Delvin Go, and he's battled McLean. Although he's been getting some help here from his teammates, I think he's done a great job here, holding his ground against McLean. Manigault to McKinney. Against Elliott, McKinney. A foul on the help. Leon Quick.
Just got hacked across the forearm there. But even against the 2-3 zone, McKinney, very aggressive attacking, as he has a light moment with his partner in crime, Manigault.
Warren Liang, open three, knocks it down again.
Talk about a player with a lot of confidence now. Ooh, Liang.
That is 10 3-pointers in the ball game for the Black Bears. Incredible, and we're only halfway through the third period. McLean inside, too strong. Alexander on the stick back.
Man on a mission. Just finding different ways to score, Alexander. In traffic, off offensive rebounds. Just, doing what he can to lift his team.
Young inside, Edwards rejected. Recovered by Elliott. And Singapore unable to run the break as the Black Bears
are back quick.
Yeah, back quick because they're all on the three-point line.
Yeah.
Alexander gets in position against Manigault.
A little bit of flopping there. But again, Alexander just willing his team to stay in this ball game, to remain competitive in this ball game.
That's the third on Manigault.
A little bit of James Harden flop right there, trying to sell something.
And there's a timeout on the floor. The Black Bears with a 17-point lead halfway through. Look at this shot from Mike McKinney. Thought he was fouled there on that drive to the basket. And it seemed like throughout this ball game, there's just an open man for the Macau Black Bears. And, you know, if you're coach Charles Santomacos, you're fine with them missing those shots because they're good open shots. The shot selection has been great here.
Anytime you shoot a catch and shoot three-pointer, that's a good shot, especially how basketball is played nowadays. You know, it's key or three. You don't want to be shooting long two-pointers. You know, you want to get the ball in the paint, like so, or shoot three-pointers.
He had his back behind the basket, and Anthony McLean just threw it up and in.
Just carving out space. Big guy. Look at here, 5 guys outside of the three-point line for the Black Bears.
That's Leon Queck caught reaching in.
Exactly, and that gives them the space they need to cut inside, forcing the Slingers to foul. But you know, Leon Queck just needs to watch his hands when he plays defense. You know, he's a long-limbed player out there. Just needs to move his feet, be in the correct position early, see what's happening, and anticipate rather than react.
McKinney to Manigault.
Oh!
And
Yeah,
takes it into the body of McLean and the foul.
That's the thing. I thought McLean had good position, but he turned his body sideways. If he could have just showed his numbers, showed his chest to the attacker, who was Manigault, then you know he could have gotten away from that foul. He was in the right position, so it needed to be a better body posture.
And 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists for Kenny Manigault. High-point man.
He ended the half with 3 steals, but I wonder how many more deflections he got.
Well,
throughout.
Some of the steals of his teammates, you can attribute that
To him, yeah.
to him. Like Jenning Leung has a couple of steals. So, and then some of the drives that he was able to prevent because of his quick hands. 75-59. Black Bears protecting a 16-point lead.
That's our marquee matchup over there, Manigault versus Alexander.
And the foul on the driving, that's Marcus Elliott drawing the foul on
Jenning
Jenning Leung, who's already has 3 fouls, so
he has to watch it. I wonder, yeah. Now, okay, smart move by the Black Bears. They switched the matchup. So McKinney on Elliott. They don't want Leung getting his 4th early in the second half.
this is McKinney. Crossover and Queck finds Jenning Leung, who's been hot. No good that time. Rebound Queck.
It's still
Gets
a
it
good
to-
shot.
Yeah, gets it to Alexander. Now with Elliott. Elliott, jumper is good.
Well, who said the pull-up is out of commission already?
When
As you
you-
can see, the Slingers, they're not shy in taking the long two-pointer.
Yeah, that's the specialty of Marcus Elliott, who now has 18 points. As he trims the gap to 14, Manigo lost it.
Forced that one.
Quick. Those long
Nice.
strides, says Leon Quick. 8 points here in the third, coming alive as the Slingers pull to within 12.
You know, this kid, Kwek, has a lot of ability. He's athletic, he can shoot, he can really create something in the open court. He just needs to get more experience and his confidence up.
Oh, Jenning Leong missed earlier, but knocks it down the next time back on the floor.
The Black Bears continue with their three-point barrage, especially against that 2-3 zone.
Alexander gets the bounce.
But man, I mean, Sidel, the Black Bears will really be happy trading threes for twos.
And the way that they've been able to get their shots off, and you know, that's an exception actually, but it seemed like back down on the floor, the red shirts seemed to have just a really difficult time getting a shot off. Unlike the Black Bears, it seems to have their offense just flowing at the moment.
Their floor spacing is not as good as the Black Bears.
Leong gets it to McKinney. Finds Warren Young.
One more pass.
Young with a runner.
But this guy has been playing with a lot of confidence and producing the points for the Black Bears.
That's a travel on Leon Kwek. So,
Talk about opportunity. Liang played a lot of minutes last game because they had an injury. Their shooter, Lee Zhu Hao, didn't play last game. And ever since that, he hasn't looked back. He has grabbed that opportunity and is now running away with it.
well, 12 points for Warren Young. And it only means one thing. The rotation can now be extended.
Yes, very much so. Best believe he's going to attempt this.
Oh! Warren Young is having a ball game. Singapore Slingers sue for time.
That's what space can do. Everybody is so concerned about Edwards, Manigault, and McKinney. Meanwhile, they're leaving Liang open for his shots and attacks.
Timeout on the floor for Singapore. Black Bears extend the lead to 17 with under 2 minutes remaining in the third. Inside the Venetian in Macau. This is their ASEAN Basketball League Season 10. The Macau Black Bears looking good at the moment.
Their lead has ballooned.
17 points is their advantage against the Singapore Slingers. Alexander forced into a miss by Lu Ji Hao. Elliott comes back with a three. No good. Liu grabs the rebound. Gives it up to McKinney. Against Kwek. Edwards providing the pick.
What a move!
McKinney spinning, but unable to get that one to drop. Elliott. And that is an easy basket. for Delvin Go.
One of the few times the Slingers were able to go out and finish on a fast break. Opportunity for the Slingers to try to make a mini run for themselves with Manigault sitting on the bench.
Yuji Hao.
Oh! And this is why Coach Santomacos has confidence in sitting Manigault, because Zihao and Liang are having themselves a ball game.
And Jining Leong as well.
Jenning Liang, yeah, you're right.
Incredible shooting. Leon Kwek tries to answer. Yes. That is 11 points in the quarter.
He's probably the one guy you don't want to leave in the perimeter right now for the Slingers. He's been consistent.
McKinney fading away. Could not get the bounce.
One of the few two-point jump shots in the game for the Black Bears. A shot they do not like.
And that's Marcus Elliott on the drive.
And really, Sidel, with the only seconds left in the quarter, you know, it's a shot they did not need to attempt. So now they're paying for it by sending Elliott on the free throw line to the free throw line of the transition attack.
Look at this. 3-point shooting for Macau. 12 of 23 for 52%. Singapore has given them different looks. Man-to-man, a 1-3-1 zone, a 2-3 zone, and they've just busted all of those in this ball game.
Man, just spacing the floor. You know, everybody ready to shoot when the ball comes to them.
And everybody just a willing ball mover.
Exactly. But let's not forget how good a defensive game they're playing right now. You know, Edwards holding his own against McLean, the big guy. You know, guy staying in front of Elliott and Alexander.
And when Alexander is in the lane,
there's a crowd around him.
He may get a shot off, but he has been made to bleed for his baskets here. 85-71.
Watch out now. Both teams are in the bonus.
And get the ball to McKinney. McKinney finds Edwards inside. Whoa, nice play there by the two imports combining.
Got caught with the switch. Took advantage of the mismatch. And both players are complaining to the referee. Edwards felt he was held. Alexander felt he was bullied.
And we're set up nicely for an interesting final period. The Black Bears have extended the lead to 16 points as we head into the final period. Fourth quarter here at Hall D in the Venetian in Macau. Macau Black Bears with a 16-point lead against the visiting Singapore Slingers. Sidaf Tupa is working alongside Coach Josh Reyes for this ASEAN Basketball League Season 10 matchup. And the Black Bears so far have been dominant. They've been torching the Slingers. 12 three-pointers in this ball game.
Another one on the way. Almost.
And Marcus Elliott grabs the rebound off the Jennings Leong miss. Xavier Alexander trying to will his team back into this ball game. And he draws the foul on that aerial assault. And just went in there hard.
But look, just every time he drives, has he even attempted a free layup at all?
I don't think so. And Alexander sinks the first free throw. He has 20 points right now.
Gonna be a crucial start for the, for both teams, for that matter, because now McKinney is starting the fourth quarter on the bench, trying to buy some time for him to rest a little bit. So I don't know, maybe the Slingers can pounce on this, get on a run.
Yuji Hao
However,
looking the other way, and doesn't go, just allowed Yuji Hao there to get that basketball easy in the right side of the paint.
Yes, just a simple UCLA screen.
Oh!
And he was open. Meanwhile, Edwards is the one having the block party against McLean.
Manigault commits a turnover, but McLean denied by Edwards.
The shortest of trips on the bench for McKinney is back on the ball game, checking in for Jennings Leong. But how about the combination of Liang and Liu? These guys have provided the spark, the scoring punch
Well,
for
really
the Black Bears.
took the load off
Exactly.
Mike McKinney. Took the
McKinney
pressure
and
off.
Manigault, yeah. Just when you think the Slingers are getting on a run, it's Liang or Liu Zihao, providing the buckets.
Ian Kwek could not make the shot. Alexander inside, and Xavier Alexander was asking for a foul, but he puts it in anyway.
I'd like to see the Slingers focus more on that. Just be relentless on the offensive glass, because that's an advantage they haven't really established in this ball game.
McKinney gets it back. Goes to Edwards,
Good
the extra
pass.
pass to Liang. Jumper at short. Edwards taps it to McKinney. McKinney, that's an offensive foul on Edwards.
Yeah.
Illegal pick.
Turned his body while that pick was happening. That gave a referee a chance to blow his whistle. So that's his second foul of the ball game.
5 players in double figures.
Are both his fouls on the offensive manner? I'm
No,
not sure.
he had one earlier, tried to stop the shot. Quick will drive. And
Nice
will find
pass.
McLean
In traffic.
Oh,
Little-
too strong, 2 points there.
A little bit of footwork being shown by Miguel. Again, Sidel, if ever he gets into shape, in good shape, he can be a really, really dominant player.
Yeah,
Because he has good hands. He catches the basketball. He has good footwork. Look, good catch. Can put the ball on the floor. Good footwork. Good control.
and when he has that ball inside,
Yeah.
there's just no way you can take that ball off him unless he goes up for that shot,
All that's left is really working on his fitness, and he could get into another level in terms of his game.
And McLean completes the 3-point play.
Not a bad-looking free throw stroke as well.
And Slingers knocking on the door. Down by 18 earlier, now only down by 11. Edwards goes to Leong. Now McKinney. McKinney against Alexander. McKinney. Wide array of moves there. Mike McKinney. And he was forced into a tough shot.
Just really force it. They just have to be aware, the Black Bears, because every time they go to a pick and roll now, and Edwards rolls to the basket, it's the other big man, Delvin Go, picking him up. So they're always leaving their four-man, their power forward, in this case, Lucy Howe wide open. If they could just spot that and get the ball to him early in that pick and roll, then they can have a wide open shot.
Alexander. Jumper. No.
Again, a long two-pointer.
McKinney. On the drive.
And ooh, almost an end.
And Quick whistled for the personal.
Quick just can't help it somehow. He just,
A lot of his fouls are like that.
puts his hand into the cookie jar.
Coach
Just-
Neo there.
Just wall up, hands up now. I mean, it's clean. It ended up being a bad call. It's clean, but with the angle of the referee and the speed, if you reach in like that, you give the referees a chance
Yeah.
to blow his whistle.
That is tempting. That
Mhm.
is tempting. As McKinney sinks the first free throw, now has 20 points, tying Madigoat. But, these are not the usual numbers from the imports. But again, you're drawing 17 points from Jenning Leong. You got 14 from Warren Liang, and you got to be happy with that
Yes.
already. And you add Liu Ji Hao with
8, yeah.
with 8 off the bench.
That's major support from the locals.
And turnover by the Slingers. 91-78. Jenning Leong against Leon Kwek. Brandon Edwards.
Little flex action happening for the Black Bears.
McKinney. Oh,
Bad turnover
out
there.
of control. Leon Kwek.
Oh!
Blocked by Madigoat.
That's my guy on the defensive end again.
Madigoat goes to Edwards, who lost the handle. Tapped away by Alexander.
By the way, we did not mention that Manigault approached us during halftime
Yeah.
and apologized
Yep. All's well ends well.
for the gum toss. I mean, what was that?
Was surprised as well.
He
I was quiet.
yeah, he felt like he was Mr. Perfect or something with the gum toss.
McKinney. Leong. Liu Ji Hao on the drive.
Shoot that, son! Could have shot it, yeah.
Kwek. Oh, Madigoat this
Oh.
time could not prevent Leon Kwek. High off the glass for Leon Kwek.
Nice finish there against the Manigault on the chase down.
Madigoat to the corner. Liu Ji Hao for 3.
To
No.
be open all the time because Delvin Go will always be helping on the pick and rolls and penetrations.
Alexander. Tough shot again.
Good stop there. I would have believed we could have seen a timeout if Singapore scores another bucket.
It looked like it was off Delvin Go, but the referee says it will stay with Singapore. That was the claim of the Black Bears.
Singapore right now with a lot of momentum. Let's see if they can sustain it.
Elliott, a one-hander, could not get it to drop. McLean with the offensive rebound, pushed away. Out of the paint by Edwards, and let's see what the whistle is.
So that's the third foul of Edwards, right?
Jenning Leong. They call it on Jenning Leong, and they have a ceasefire as the Black Bears still on top by 11. 5 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the ball game. We'll be right back.
every time they took the ball out of bounds, they went to McLean on that seal. And again, they've run that play over and over again off a baseline out of bounds.
They got that one to go as well in the first period. 2 seconds remaining. So now it's just a 9-point lead for Macau as Singapore has managed to claw their way back. They were down by 16 to start the period. McKinney to Edwards.
That was a block by Alexander.
12 of 26 now from beyond the arc as Macau has missed their last 3 attempts.
The ball movement of the Black Bears have disappeared.
Elliott to Kwek. Puts the ball on the deck. Leon Kwek off the glass and in.
Meanwhile, the Slingers are starting to get their rhythm. The ball is moving, they're flowing better. The Black Bears need to space the floor well again and get back to their ball rotation.
7 points.
Or-
Mike McKinney, what did you say?
Or McKinney just keep the ball, dribble it like 15 times, and then shoot the layup. That works too.
Mike McKinney makes it a 9-point lead for the Black Bears, but Singapore with momentum now. Delvin Go. Want a ball in the hands of McLean, but Delvin Go has it. Alexander with 3 to shoot, slapped away by...
Uh-oh. What's going to happen now? Baseline out of bounds. You'll see the stagger screen by the 2 big guys, and then McLean sealing. Edwards needs to stick to McLean here. You know they're trying to go to him.
No, they go
But-
to Elliott. And Marcus
They
Elliott.
counter.
And it looked like Macau anticipated that
Yes.
already. And
They countered with McLean screening, getting Elliott open. Great move.
McKinney, Chiliu, no option there. Now with Manigoat. Kenny Manigoat on the move. Manigoat. And he somehow gets a foul on Alexander.
Just now, McKinney and Manigold are just forcing things. Their ball movement is gone.
But here's the thing. Manigoat and McKinney are going into this last 4 minutes a little more fresh.
Yes.
Because they were not, they did not expend as much energy as in their usual games because they've been getting a lot of support from their locals.
Good point right there, Sidel. And maybe they're feeling it's take over time because
Yeah.
it's the 4th quarter, because it's down to single digits. However, they did start the 4th quarter very stagnant in terms of
Yep.
their attacks. They held the ball too much. Miss a lot of open teammates who have been playing well this ball game. So if they can just go back to that a little bit more before they try to force things, then it'll be better for the Black Bears.
The Black Bears keeping the Slingers at bay with this 9-point lead with 3 minutes and 54 seconds remaining. This is your ASEAN Basketball League Season 10. We'll be right back here at the Venetian in Macau. This is your ASEAN Basketball League Season 10 Rise to Greatness. As the Macau Black Bears right now holding on to a 9-point lead as the Singapore Slingers with under 4 minutes remaining here at the Venetian in Macau. Here's Xavier Alexander for Singapore. Alexander.
That's a big turnover. Coach Neo Bengxiang just called that last timeout, just to control the momentum of the Black Bears, keep the run going. and that's just tough for them. Turning the ball over off their timeout. They only have 1 timeout left in this ball game, whereas the Black Bears still have 3.
Manny Goat gets it to Jening Young. Warren Liang is back in the game. Manny Goat goes baseline, finds McKinney. McKinney. Manny Goat again. 3 seconds remaining. Jening Leong, 3-pointer. No. Elliott first to that loose ball.
There's a foul called on the floor.
There's a foul.
Wait, what was?
A foul whistled on. If it's a technical on Elliott, that's his second technical.
No, wait. Hold on. Okay. So now, okay. Wait, what's the? Is the referee had the foul signal right away, and I wonder who he called it against. If that's on Elliott, if the foul is on Elliott, I mean.
Well, okay. They're still discussing this. So. Let's watch this again. Loose ball right here. Elliott, that's last
ball
touch.
out of bounds.
Last
But
touch
he
on him.
signaled a foul on who though? Was it on McKinney?
So it looked like it was out of bounds already before the contact happened.
But was the technical because he threw the ball towards a player? But that was towards his feet, trying to save the
it's
ball.
not on the.
And this is a big call with the nature of the ball game, because the Slingers are coming into a run, has cut the lead down to single digits, to 9 points. So this is going to be a big decision by the referees.
That's true. From our angle, it just looked like a simple out of bounds. It's a simple out of bounds call.
Yes. And I was looking at the referee, and I don't know what he was looking at. He was not looking at the feet of Elliott. He was looking at something else. Okay, so he called the foul on McKinney here, which I don't know about that. That's incidental contact. Just them going for the loose ball.
And then there was a technical signal.
That's, I mean, come on
and
now.
I think he canceled it.
Let's play basketball here now.
No, it will stand. If it stands. So no technical. But 2 free throws for Marcus Elliott.
Because, they're on the bonus.
So this could be a turning point here in the 4th. Can make it a 7-point game with 3:16 remaining. As Elliott.
Well, nothing left to do now for the Black Bears, but,
move on.
Move on, recover, get together, continue to communicate.
2 for 2.
Good call of a timeout here. Make sure they regroup and get back into focus.
95 to 87 for the Black Bears. That's 95 to 88. Should be 95 to 88. Their score is corrected already. Your ASEAN Basketball League Season 10 will be right back. Slingers have outscored the Macau Black Bears 17-8 here in the fourth period, and they pulled to within 7 points with 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Macau has the basketball. Kenny Manigold matched up against Xavier Alexander.
The Black Bears are used to this. They've been in a lot of close games. Let's see if they can close out positively.
Manigold to the other side. That's a miss. Gold tracks down the rebound. Gives it up to Alexander. Alexander to Kwek, who's come alive in the second half. Back to Alexander. Alexander.
Reaching in. They're in the bonus, though. Manigold, you just got to be aware that you're in the bonus. Can't reach in like that. If he's going to shoot a pull-up jumper, so be it.
Wow.
But this is where Alexander takes over. You know he's going to demand for the ball and try to carry his team on his shoulders, but he misses a big free throw.
He's 7 for 9 in the ball game.
Watch out, though, Sidel. I'd like to see Manigold be in the rebounding position here. He's all the way in the backcourt. It's Liang rebounding on the other side. Okay, but Alexander makes it, though.
2-possession game. And under 3 minutes remaining. Alexander has 24 points. This is McKinney, open three, no. And that's Marcus Elliott whistled for the foul. So that is foul number 4 on Marcus Elliott. One foul away from fouling out in this ball game. Fresh 14 here for Macau Black Bears. McKinney. Now against Elliott. Edwards providing the pick. McKinney in traffic. McLean with a block.
Forced that. Manigold was wide open on the left wing. Uncharacteristic for McKinney to not spot him.
Elliott for three!
And they pay by giving up that three-pointer. Big one by Elliott. And he is known to make big shots. He's no stranger to making big shots throughout his ABL career.
The biggest lead was at 19 points for Macau. Now it's down to 3. Manigo taking over. No good.
Shot. That's another 4 shot for the Black Bears.
Singapore can tie with a 3 here. Kwek puts the ball on the deck. Goes to Elliott. Waits for goal. Alexander. Out to Kwek. Plenty of time on the shot clock. They go to McLean. McLean on a jumper. No good. Goal with the offensive rebound. And he puts it in as the Slingers are within a single point. The Black Bears stunned here in the fourth period. The Slingers started the fourth quarter down 16. And right now, they're only down by 1 with 1 minute and 27. After scoring 26 points in the first quarter, 31 in the second, 30 in the third, the Black Bears have just scored 8 here in the fourth quarter, and there's 1 minute and 26 seconds remaining here.
And man, they just really got too confident. They stopped moving the basketball. McKinney and Manigault have been holding the ball a lot. Every time they attack, they kept on challenging McLean in there. But you know, if there's no ball movement and you just allow McLean to camp out in the paint and wait for them on their drives, that's going to be a tough finish. That's
Manigault.
better. And then move the ball again.
Liang with a jumper.
Yeah,
No
Liang
good.
should move the ball again.
Elliott with a rebound. Slingers with a chance to take the lead. Alexander inside, fouled by Liang, and that's 2 free throws for Xavier Alexander. But when the lead was at 17, at 15, this guy has just been relentless.
Yeah, he's just been plucking away, and now off a very, very poor gamble by Jenning Leong, that gave Alexander a straight drive to the basket.
24 points for Xavier Alexander. Never mind the 5 turnovers. He has 9 assists as well. That ties the game with 63 seconds remaining.
How many rebounds does Alexander have?
Yeah, he only has 5 though.
So that, you know, we're not
3 blocks as well, but
still, it's not a triple-double, but it's still a massive stat line.
and he just kept at it.
Now
and
he gets the lead.
The Slingers down 19 in the second half, now up by 1. A tremendous comeback on the cards here at the Venetian in Macau. This is McKinney. McKinney, favorite pull-up. Oh, air ball. Warren Leong tracks it down. Let's see if he can find a teammate. McKinney is rejected, and that's a shot clock violation for Macau. Singapore will get the ball back.
Everybody just going to the ball for the Black Bears. No one is backdooring. No one is cutting to the basket. Everyone just asking for the basketball. They gotta go back and spacing the floor correctly so that they can get their attacks going. They can find the opening man on the floor.
Singapore not yet in the bonus. The Black Bears in penalty already.
Huge momentum shift in this ball game.
Elliott against Leong. 5 seconds in the shot clock. Elliott leaves him behind.
What a block.
Gets blocked by Edwards.
Opportunity for the Black Bears.
And they call a foul on Alexander. And we might see the last time out here.
Yeah, they're not in the bonus. The Slingers are not in bonus yet. 12 seconds left. What a ball. What a turn of events, man.
Wow. We've been treated to just a fantastic game here.
I mean, we were just lulled. We just thinking that Macau was in full control of the ball game. And before you know it, right at the end of the fourth quarter, Singapore snatches the lead.
And this is just, I think, the character of the Singapore team over the years here in the ASEAN Basketball League. This is a type of game that really shows us who they really are.
Exactly.
The other team might be the flashy one, but their work rate, they've been relentless.
Hey, you talk about old school basketball, just old school sticking at it, just giving themselves a chance through their defense. When they started getting stops, when the Black Bears stalled their ball movement, that's where the Singapore Slingers got their opportunities to run. They don't push the ball all the time, but they do it in select moments when they get good defensive stops. And the Black Bears, I should say, kind of helped them do that because their offense really became stagnant in the fourth quarter.
Well, they missed their first three-pointers here in the fourth. The Black Bears, and all of a sudden they forgot about what they were doing best
and they
here
really
in this ball game.
Yeah, they really forced a lot of shots, especially against McLean in the paint. There were not a lot of kick-outs, not a lot of cuts and backdoors.
But hey, they still have two of the best offensive players in the ASEAN Basketball League. Like Mike McKinney and Kenny Manigault. So, they still have a chance. 12.5 seconds remaining. Just a 1-point lead for the Singapore Slingers.
You're exactly correct, Zudel. I'd actually want to see the Black Bears stretch out McLean, spot up Edwards in the perimeter to avoid McLean helping in the paint. Maybe run a ball screen with the man of Delvin Go. So let's see what happens now.
Elliott
They find Warren Liang, blocked by Go. Extra pass, son. Had an extra pass opportunity to Mike McKinney. Didn't do it.
We have 4.9 seconds remaining. Can Singapore come up with one final stop here to complete the comeback? Or can Macau take the win? McKinney with a runner. High off the glass. Warren Liang has it.
And they get it. Singapore Slingers escape with it. The Black Bears drop another close one. Failing to execute down the stretch.
What a win here by Singapore.
We got a stunned Macau here in the Venetian.
Coach Neo Beng Xiang authoring another comeback. A comeback for the ages, really. Right here at the Venetian. The Singapore Slingers pull off what was an improbable feat earlier when we saw
Oh shit! McKinney just kicked the chair in front of the referee in frustration because it was a big call. That loose ball foul on him changed the complexion of the game. Oh, he's gonna get sanctioned. I almost got sanctioned because of that move of his.
Wow, frustrations there for the Macau Black Bears. This was a ball game. It seemed like they were cruising as we entered the fourth quarter, but again, the Singapore working their way back into this ball game. Underrated part of the second half was Leon Kwek's timely explosion there, Coach Josh.
And you're right, that Alexander keeping at it, just towing his team, just plucking away, never giving up. Like I said, Leon Kwek all of a sudden had timely outside shots to relieve them of how the Black Bears are clogging the paint.
And if not for those shots for Leon Kwek, they could have been blown out.
Yeah,
they could have been blown out by 20.
And then Elliott doing what he does, coming up with big shots and big plays. But really, it was the offense of the Black Bears just stalling in the end and them failing to get stopped on the other end. And just, what a turnaround. With just one quarter, all the hard work, all the things the Black Bears were doing well disappeared. And Singapore, just by sticking around, good old school hard-nosed basketball, sticking around, just snatches the game right in the end.
3 wins and 4 losses for the Singapore Slingers. Back-to-back wins for the first time this season, as coming off a win over San Miguel Alab Pilipinas at home. They come up with a gutsy win on the road against this hot shooting Macau Black Bears in the first 3 periods. Xavier Alexander again was incredible, together with Marcus Elliott and Anthony McLean, the rest of the gang, the rest of the crew, really just impressive again in this win. For my partner, Coach Josh Reyes, this is Adolf Tupa saying goodnight from the Venetian. This is your ASEAN Basketball League Season 10. Rise to greatness.
open is Regulish. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in!
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lie. Oh, everyone for the Black